Tanzania, they've never had this opportunity before. What a way to finish, given they've been the most exhilarating teams in the tournament. They have lost one game, but it was in what was a dead rubber for them in their third group stage match, having won their opening two ties. Senegal, in contrast, lost their opener against South Africa, but have come roaring back to storm their way to this final. Well, Egypt took bronze position over Morocco in the third place playoff after both sides lost out to these teams. And so, as the CAF theme music plays out, it's Senegal. What's been a wonderful tournament, one that has shown African youth football at its very best. Still, the finale to enjoy. But before the action, the national anthems of Senegal and Tanzania.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Senegal. أيها السادة برجال الوقوف للنشيد الوطني للسنغال.
Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the other dignitaries looking on. The focus is on those on the field, preparing to get underway. Well, for Senegal, just 2 changes to the side that came through semi-final penalties. That's seen dropping out of the squad. Number 22, Sheikh Dieng. That brings in to the defence Cher Thior alongside Maurice Biet in front of their captain Hassan Sarr. Stepping in to the limelight, Sege Fall Baboji on the wing. Their number 9, Ibrahima Dione, dropping to the bench. So Mohamed Aouina of Algeria taking charge. Great honour for the officials as well. They themselves looking to plot their own path to bigger, better things. And of course, for Tanzania, this is their biggest moment in the country's footballing history. They soon will be hosting the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027 alongside Uganda and Kenya. These are the potential history boys, and it is no surprise that the Serengeti boys are going with their strongest 11. Nza Nsangan Zulu, hoping his side don't wilt under the pressure. They certainly have been pretty cool throughout. He said they need to stay calm, stay away from pressure and play our game, and when they have been scintillating to watch. In this magnificent stadium, who will be looking back on years to come. No, they did something special. Senegal looking for their second under-17 AFCON title in just 3 years. Tanzania looking to do what no Tanzanian side has ever done. Both teams have won 2 penalty shootouts to get here. Will we need more to separate them? Or can one of the sides step up inside the regulation time? Underway, the under-17 Africa Cup of Nations final. Senegal, the 2023 champions, taking on Tanzania, tantalizingly close to a first ever title. Not just at under-17 level, at any level. Of course, Senegal have been enjoying, it's been a golden era for their national teams. AFCON glory at each level. Of course, we'll be looking forward to the Senior World Cup starting in just over a week's time. Tanzania, this is a situation they've never had. Tanzanian national side at any level has ever reached an AFCON final. They'll want to keep the door shut at the other end. Good readjustment for Aji Abdallah. Sure, there's nothing catching him out at his near post. Certainly the best goalkeeper at the Sekafa qualifying. He's brought that into this tournament as Tanzania now have their first chance to try and threaten. Strong defending from Lamine Mbenge. Then given away cheaply. Passment and movement. So good from Tanzania. In a goal. Just sneaks past the far post. A warning sign for Lamine Sané's side. Well, he got his strike away. Saddam Amis couldn't hit the target. Well, one of two 14-year-olds in the side run by Eliane Neza Sanganzelu, along with tournament top scorer so far Dimas Atanasi wearing number 15. One ahead of teammate Lukman Mbala Jalendi, and of Senegal's Faye, Suleiman Faye, number 10, looking to create behind Cher Omar Sy up top. Got the nod ahead of Dion. To just play their style, Tanzania, and even in their opening matches which they won, whether they were already in total control, they just kept plugging away, playing the same patterns. That's great to see, as well as great recompense for the work by Sanganzelu and his coaching staff. Saw Lamine Sané on the sidelines for Senegal. Yeah, team is delicate, but the head coach, Seydina Issa Aidara, one pulling the strings. He certainly said every match comes down to small details. Set pieces are one of them. Bodies are tired, playing in a final provides such motivation. They'll forget about it. A little nutmeg worked out. Wonderful ball spread wide. Bit of a heavy touch. Just unable to readjust. So there is Seydina Aidara. Did say play for fun, not pressure. Easier said than done. Only 3 goals conceded by Haji Abdallah. Have been a well-oiled machine. Senegal also only conceding 3 times. Further 2 goals conceded by Tanzania when Dalla was given the night off. His replacement, Rahman Soro, got his chance. Haji Abdallah, majority of the team built up of development squad. Tanzania, plenty of scouts are keeping eyes on their players, and no wonder as they try and pick their way through. And they do it with quality and an end product. Tanzania on their way to making history. Amis Miambo gets them off to a flyer. Senegal shocked. Tanzania terrifying. The young Lions of Teranga, as they have the rest of the tournament. Superbly played into feet. But what great composure. Lukman Imbala Sari just cushioned the ball. And Miambo just tucked it past a stranded Hassan Sarr. The keeper given no chance. Tanzania into an early lead. Well, what a time to score your first goal of the tournament. And Senegal have work to do, although they do have time in which to do it. Certainly an early wake-up call, if they indeed needed one. Cleared by Razaki Nejelendi. Senegal just look to try and settle in as Tiano So. Brilliant ball into midfield. It's a lovely 1-2. Maybe not the best end product. Taking on the shot. Suleiman Commissioner Faye. Taken away a bit cheaply by Abdallah. Tanzania win it back in Senegal's half. Just wonderful to see at such young age group. Lukman Imbalasalu would have been very easy for the Kagera Sugar forward to have a swing at that himself or take it off the on-rushing Amis Miambo. Instead he left it to the midfielder to stride through, tuck it away. Well, double danger for Senegal, 1-0 down. They certainly don't want Hassan Sarr to have to go off. Penalty hero against Morocco. Certainly things to ponder. Well, he was part of the 2025 squad that failed to defend their title. Now the main man, maybe not for much longer. Certainly the concern for Senegal, the fact they've got their substitute goalkeeper Daouda Ba of Génération Foot, who hasn't played a single minute. I hope it's nothing major to worry about. Tanzania just look like they cannot be fazed. Winning the ball and so quickly getting to the edge of Senegal's box. Here's the goal scorer. And now a one flashed wide. Certainly caught hold of it, Idrissa Kilendembo. Nowhere near the target from the fullback. Kilendembo was one of those who've returned from the 2025 edition. One of the great changes to really help the growth of youth football. Now the Under-17 World Cup is annual, so therefore are the competitions that play for its qualification. And Tanzania had already, by winning their group, earned a debut at year's end at the World Cup. Senegal will be taking part in their fourth. Mozambique, like Tanzania, the other debutants of those heading to the tournament in Qatar. Tanzania really have settled so well here in Rabat. Senegal won't panic. They did trail from an early goal the final 3 years ago, held in the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algiers. Abdelhamid Ait Boudlao, now of Rennes, netted an early one for the young Atlas Lions. Fallou Diouf from the penalty spot. An 83rd minute winner from Mamadou Savan saw them earn their first title in this competition. Quite amazing, given that Tanzania never actually qualified out of an under-17 AFCON group stage before. Yet here they are now, as things stand, heading for the title. Before this edition, they'd only ever won one game as well. That was back in their first appearance in 2017. 4 points in that group stage in Gabon. Then 6 straight defeats between 2019 and last year's editions. Senegal won't be giving up a chance to win a second title without a fight. At the moment, they're struggling to find any rhythm. They're keeping the belief. Certainly, fans making plenty of noise. Now a chance to try double their advantage. The patience shown. Knock it around confidently. Now spread by their captain Kassim Aimbo. Possibly not trying to look ahead to maybe getting his hands on the ultimate prize. Mental side of the game will play such a huge aspect of this final. Still very early doors, but once the reality becomes that little bit closer, see far more nerves than we've seen thus far, particularly from Tanzania. As it is, a very proficient, confident start. Certainly see how incredibly well the development squad is working. Only 3 of the starting 11 with clubs. You can see the connection between the players playing out brilliantly. Superbly worked back to win it. Senegal struggling to keep tabs. Demo. They'll play a forward pass if it's the right one, but otherwise they won't panic, Tanzania. If that forward pass does drift astray to Hassan Sarr, who does seem to have recovered after going down not long after concession from a fine strike from Amis Niambo. Lukman Balasalu setting it up, and he tucked it away. A terrific occasion played out in this wonderful stadium. It was the first match for Morocco. And the semi-finals and finals, so both have had the opportunity to play out in this arena. The rest of the tournament having taken place at the Mohammed VI Football Academy, very famed for its production line of talent. We've certainly seen that from Morocco for the recent years. Now a chance for Tanzania to make Senegal sweat some more. Comfortable on the ball, and then swung into the box. Comes back to Pelendemo. That one's loose on the spin. Malasalu. One back. One a bit loose in between targets. Bit of possession. Given away thanks to excellent anticipation. Senegal now under pressure to set the tone. Senegal had been unbeaten in the 2025 group stage without conceding from open play, but then lost on penalties in the quarter-final to Côte d'Ivoire. 8 from that squad returning. Looking to try and make amends. Brilliant challenge. These players stays down on the deck, not getting much in the way of sympathy from Maimbo. Salu felt he was held up. Strapping on the knee. The referee does seem happy to let some of the physical challenges play out. Doesn't look to stop the play too often in this opening 20 minutes. Long-reaching challenge from Hussein Mbegu. Just when Cheikh Oumar Sy felt he was getting up ahead of steam. Well, he could be producing quite the achievement. Sangan Zelu set up his Serengeti boys and their fans. What could be an unforgettable night in Rabat. Never out of the group stages in their previous appearances. Now the Sekafa champions looking to add the under-17 AFCON crown. Well, East Africa is football mad, but long overshadowed both by the region's global dominance in distance running. Also, not quite the same power as we've seen from West and North Africa. They do have wonderful domestic footballing culture with Young Africans and Simba, fan-owned clubs. One of Africa's fiercest rivalries, the Kariakou Derby. Senegal desperate to just find a bit of rhythm and poise as they look to find their route back into this match. Positive, as they haven't really started. They do only trail by the solitary goal. Tanzania now are the ones wanting a free kick, but it's swung in, looped him. The header almost catching Abdallah out. The Tanzanian goal readjusting brilliantly to keep the score blank. Tanzania felt this was a foul. This is where the danger lay. Fabulous header, just trying to loop it in. Strong hand from Haji Abdallah. A little bit of a disagreement at the back. Begu certainly giving as good as Haji Abdallah gave. Referee just making sure. Not too much wrestling, little corner kick routine that the young Lions of Teranga are trying to utilize. Swung into the middle, ball still alive, and it's a swing and a slice. Tanzania putting bodies on the line, but when the ball finally was struck through, no wonder he's fuming. Sega Fall Mboji with the final effort, well under the ball. High over the bar. Limited chances in this first 25 minutes. Tanzania got themselves a precious opener. As we've seen, not just looking to sit back, still looking to plug away and try work their way through. Senegal will be happier. At least started to make an imprint. Mentioned Tanzania, along with Uganda and Kenya, co-hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, the first East African host of senior AFCON since Ethiopia in 1976. There's only ever been two senior AFCON winners that have ever come from East Africa: Ethiopia in 1962, Sudan in 1970. Both of home soil, never at youth level. Cooling break, and the coaches getting their chance to have their say. Both as animated as the other. Tanzania, they may have the lead, but they know it is such a slender one. This is where it came from. Little pass, picking out Lukman Mbalasalu, and intelligence to leave it to Amis Niambo. Initial pass from Dilmas Atanasi, who's made such a big name for himself. But it's the team element that's driven Tanzania here. Senegal just searching for the form that they found, and having recovered from an opening day defeat to South Africa, who, having beaten the Young Lions of Teranga, went on to lose their other two matches and crash out. In the end, Senegal defeating Algeria and Ghana to top Group D. Fabulous achievement given the start, and then beating two-time former champions Mali on penalties for knocking out the hosts and defending champions Morocco. They're struggling to get a grip with Tanzania here. Touch for the captain. Imbo finds Kilendemo. Lovely 1-2, but he's just caught up the fullback, and now he's out of position. Can Senegal take advantage? Wonderful footwork. Easy decision for the referee. Niambo just gets a little extra warning there, the goal scorer. I think he'll be too unhappy with this, given that Sega Boji could have had acres of space to run into. Driving run from left back Mbenge, but now he, like Kilendemo before, has left a gap, but Tanzania are getting in behind. The striking goal, vital block to deny Tanzania a second. Mbalasalu looked in, but Lukman denied. Lovely ball. It's again Atanasi pulling the strings. Great movement as ever from Serengeti boys, number 10. They're stacking up at the back post. Niambo, Atanasi, as well as Mbegu. Ends up in the grateful gloves of Asansar. Wants to get on with things quickly. Well, a high fit there and a booking as well. Poor decision making. Boji, see, clear that that was going to be a high boot. Did it anyway. He's paid a price. So Tanzania leading on the half-hour mark here in Rabat as they look for a first ever under-17 AFCON crown, having never previously escaped the group stages. Senegal did come from one behind in 2023 to lift their maiden trophy at this age group. Period of unprecedented Senegalese success. The first senior AFCON coming with under-17 and under-20 glory, as well as even beach AFCON delights. Here they are looking to fight back, but Tanzania just have the bit between their teeth at the moment. These sides have never met before. Certainly going to be a bit of adjustment. It's Tanzania who have settled the better. Sadina Isa Aitara. Senegalese coach did say set pieces could be vital, an area people neglect, saying that they've focused on that aspect. You can see their better opportunity come in the breakdown from a corner kick, although it was smashed over the top from Mboji. Here is Suleiman Faye. Can he create with that left boot? Numbers up, but the looping ball, well, it wasn't a good delivery. It almost turned into something special. Looping cross, a little too close for comfort. Haji Abdallah happy to see it wide. He was trying for it. A terrible effort. Certainly a waste. Well, maybe might have left that. Wasn't really meant for him. Boji cuts inside, puts it forward, but Della has that all day long. Senegal themselves didn't get out of the group stages in their first two AFCON appearances. The first time they did go on to lift the title. Exactly what Tanzania are trying to do tonight. It is just an indication of how much stronger underage groups are becoming across the continent. This is the second successive tournament with the expanded 16-team model. Senegal, whoever did qualify for their first Under-17 World Cup in 2019, 23 and 25, they've always got out of the group stages there. Tanzania will have their first experience at Qatar 2026. So the Mohammed VI Football Academy, pitch 8. Egypt beating rivals Morocco to the bronze medal. Zayed after 32 minutes. And Bashir 12 minutes after the 90 were up for a 2-0 victory. Egypt had looked the form side after their 4-1 thrashing of Côte d'Ivoire in the quarterfinals, but Tanzania kept them out before scoring 4 penalties after missing their first to knock them out. Noor and Mohammed missing the crucial penalties saw the Serengeti boys win 4-3. Well, Senegal led Morocco until the 100th minute. Wanye got a first half goal. Eloud then netted a dramatic late penalty, to say the least. That set up penalties ultimately. Like Tanzania, Senegal missed their first through Dieng. But it would end in further drama. 10 penalty kicks each. The young Lions of Teranga coming through 7-6 here at the Moulay El Hassan Stadium. It's a stadium that was rebuilt as part of Morocco's preparations for the 2025 AFCON and the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, of which the country is also playing hosts, as Qatar are with the Under-17 Men's World Cup for the next 4 years after the first time round. It's ultimately where Algeria knocked out DR Congo in the round of 16 at the start of the year after extra time. And also a scene for much happier times for DR Congo. They would come back, having beating Cameroon and then knocked Nigeria out of World Cup qualifying. Eventually qualified through. Congo taking on Portugal, Uzbekistan and Colombia. Senegal themselves have a very interesting date with France on 16th of June. Anyone remembering 2002 certainly see that as a historic encounter. Norway and Iraq to come. Tanzania, of course, never been to the big party, but certainly feel that maybe they've got a special generation at hand, especially when you look at top scorer Atanasi, as well as Saddam Amis, both just 14 already making a name for themselves. Atanasi with the pass to Mbalasalu before he laid it off for Miambo. The ball through to the number 10. Saw his shot knocked over the bar. Number 15, 3 goals to top scorer in the tournament. Haven't seen him as a goal-scoring threat yet. Certainly productive. Senegal look for something themselves to grow about. Excellent play down the left, looking to shape to cross, swung by Wanya. It's brilliantly taken. Haji Abdallah anticipating the situation, looking to get in behind early, but easily dealt with at the back. Very comfortable play on the ball. Helps Tanzania move up the pitch as a team. You can see in the midfield, Haji Sao just trying to wave the players forward. In fact, it's Emil Sadio. Just wanted a little bit more cohesion from the men in white. Long searching ball. Sao just able to let it drop over his head and then hook it over his shoulder. Couple of bounces, but then a nice touch from Sao. Alaji. And now looking to get it behind. Just wanted to lift it with Haji Abdallah coming towards him. Too much on it. Mohamed Wanya certainly getting a chance to stretch his legs. Was man of the match in the semi-final against Morocco. Just a challenging little flick to try and get it up and over Haji Abdallah. Little touch from the goalkeeper, although it didn't look to be going on target. pondering on the sidelines. A bit of concern. Touch not noticed. Tanzania, the goal kick. That's brilliantly kept in. It looked favoured to be a Senegalese ball, and yet somehow Tanzania have smuggled it down this right flank and can cross the ball in. Did favour Senegalese defender. And now Wanye taken out. There will be a yellow card, you might think, unless the referee decides to be more lenient. He's chosen the latter route. Toussaint Mbegu's grateful. Chero Marcy getting them on their feet. Fairness, good decision for the referee. Is certainly a sore one for the striker. It wasn't quite as bad a challenge as it might have looked from afar. Launched long. Those Senegalese heads really battling for it, but that's broken kindly. Boji showing some great footwork and skill. Gets dispossessed all the same. Well recovered. Wants the ball back. Not happening for Lamine Mbengue. He's for the moment giving up his left back role to stride on centrally. Inside the final minute of regulation first half time. Lovely play from Iboji. Forced back all the same to Sao. That will do for Tanzania. That was too easily read, and Boji caught on his toes. Well, they're enjoying it. The smiles tell you that from the players. The coach maybe less so. He'll know there's still an awful long way to go before they can celebrate what would be an incredible moment in Tanzanian history. Strong challenge from Kilendemo. Certainly won the ball, but there was contact. Though I don't think enough to put Mboji's continued presence under threat. Can Senegal find something? 3 minutes added on. The end of the first half. Long, deep cross. The flick on. Couldn't get enough on it to direct it goalwards. Mboji. Certainly looked the most likely to make something happen. The Génération Foot winger. Rare loose pass. Senegal Just over a minute to try and find parity. They're going to launch this long and hope for the best. But Tanzania win the first header. And then it's a very ambitious effort from long, and Tanzania could be in. It's a 2-on-1. Lukman Imbalasalu takes his time, but he never released the ball when it might have put them 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Huge let-off for Senegal. Faye with the foul against Idrissa Kirandemo. Want to see that counter back. What an opportunity missed. Launch ball in. Now Senegal's chance to go on the break. Super pace and power, but really well held up to allow numbers back. And that's the end of a first half. Or is it? Well, the referee now has indicated the half is over. Well, Tanzania in their first ever final AFCON of any age. Their players look to have come of age as they struck early to lead this by 1-0. Lukman Imbalasalu was found by Dimis Atanasi. And on running, Amis Miambo took over and tucked it away comfortably. Senegal have struggled to create chances. They'll just be happy they're only trailing by 1. At the halftime whistle, Tanzania 1, Senegal 0 here in Rabat.